I welcome you all on my channel, the Opinion Platform. All of us know that BJP is preparing for Lok Sabha election not through any political events as has been the practice in the past. Rather, the BJP is hell-bent on politicizing the very religious faith issue, and it is going to do in Hindi, which is called Pran Pratishtha, which is they are going to resurrect the old tradition as they claim through Ram Mandir. And today the news has come in the morning that the Rama's idol has been set up at the place where the ceremonial exercises have to be performed in the public glare through the national channels, televised through the national channels, and where the Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself will be present, and he will try to send image across the country that he is the person, he is the leader who has protected the Hindu religion. And on this chariot of religious issue, on this chariot of Ram Rath that BJP people are calling, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the third consecutive time wants to sweep the election. All opposition parties have expressed their concerns, and they have heavily criticized, and they have heavily and openly called upon the Prime Minister Narendra Modi and criticized him for investing the government resources over something which is religious directly in nature and barred and not allowed as per the Constitution of India. This has been one of the major claims of all opposition parties. No matter what happens in Lok Sabha election 2024, but it is a matter of interest that Narendra Modi does not appear to be losing his political sheen in near future, where the BJP supporters are very happy and they are expecting around 400 Lok Sabha seats to win in the coming Lok Sabha election. The opposition parties are saying that if EVM, electronic voting machines, will be exercised, there may be some problem, and the memorandum has also been given as per the reports came in a few days ago to Election Commission of India, where Election Commission of India has, without clearly giving the opportunity, as the opposition has blamed, said that ECI trusts on the EVM. However, opposition parties are yet to give clear stance on this aspect. Well, to analyze, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has almost completed 2 tenures successfully as Prime Minister of India, and it is also said, it is largely advertised and popularized in the national newspapers, channel, digital media, across platforms, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is cherished and will be cherished in the days to come in the future as one of the most popular Prime Ministers after Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. To deliberate on all such issues and concerns, today I am in conversation with one of the most popular personalities in the field of intelligentsia and in the field of politics. Yes, Professor Shivjatan Thakur. He has been former head of the Department of English of Patna University. He has also been former member of Bihar Public Service Commission, and the best of all, he holds great command over legal knowledge and has also earned sobriquet of being acknowledged as one of the noted constitutional experts. It is those people who stay in Bihar know quite well that the best of lawyers, if they get stuck at some point, they also contact Professor Thakur and they have serious discussion on those constitutional experts, and after they receive the expertise of Professor Thakur, they argue in the court, and his interventions have led to major changes in so many cases. Well, we will not go in deep about those cases. Rather, we are here to deliberate on how Prime Minister Narendra Modi completed 2 consecutive terms as the Prime Minister of India. Professor Thakur, I welcome you on my channel, The Opinion Platform.
Thank you, Dharmaraj, for inviting me to your channel.
My first question to you would be, well, you have seen so many elections in your life. How do you understand, how do you consider Prime Minister Narendra Modi? General perception wise, how do you rate Prime Minister Modi in comparison to other Prime Ministers you have seen?
Alright. Modi ji has got 2 distinctive qualities. Number 1, he is a very persuasive orator and he is able to connect with the masses at once. The first quality in him is oratory. The second quality which he possesses, that is noted for his sophistry or public rhetoric without much substance in his speech and in his work and achievement. Let me cite this fact in constitutional way. Prime Minister and all the MPs have taken oath under the Constitution of India to abide by the Constitution, preserve, protect and defend the Constitution and the law. Let me begin with this point. Narendra Modi is under oath to protect the constitutional ethos, that is secular culture of the country. But what he practices is just opposite of it. He does not promote secularism because nowadays, if you look at the channel, all the channels under his control are using carpeting coverage of Ram Temple. Ram Temple, of course, it was projected larger than life size and just for the purpose of hoodwinking the innocent masses of the country. Perhaps all of you must be aware that vast majority of the people are still not very much educated, not scientifically trained to analyze situation and phenomena in a correct perspective. And Modi has promoted this bigotry, religious superstition, and every kind of hypocrisy that is very bad. Furthermore, he has undermined the constitutional fiber of the country. Of course, it will take a long time to explain everything in detail, but let me speak something confining myself to the point of temple itself. Everybody knows that Lord Rama is a mythical figure. It does not have its root in the history of India. History of India does not recognize the incarnation of Ram. There is no mention anywhere in any part of ancient Indian history, nor is any evidence or nor then any artifact to say that such thing exists. Of course, it is a figment of imagination and it is an art of literary creation that Lord Ram was invested with supernatural power and all that. But perhaps people must be aware that in India there are altogether 40 Ramayans, not only one, 40 Ramayans. But most of us are familiar only with Ramcharitmanas of Tulsidas. But when we try to compare and contrast the Ramayana of Tulsidas and Balmiki Ramayana, then we will come to know that there is much contradiction between the two. In Ramcharitmanas, there is no episode of love and incarnation. There is no story on that in Ramcharitmanas. But in Ramayana, Balmiki Ramayana, of course, Ram, the son of Ram, that is Love and Kush, were also depicted in detail, and they are supposed to have practically vanquished Ram in Ashwamedh Yagna. I will not speak on that point in detail today. What I mean to say, why does BJP propagate Lord Rama? In my view, there are two reasons. If we look at Ramayana, Ram Balmiki Ram, then we will come to know about one story, that is story of Shambhuk. Shambhuk, if you read Ramayana, you will come to know about it. Shambhuk was supposed to be Sudra. He was practicing penance in the deep forest. And then one Brahmin came with 14-year-old dead son on his back and entered in the Darbar of Ram, and then he began to wail loudly, Lord Rama, you see, there is a widespread belief there is no death, no deprivation, no famine, no any kind of natural or unnatural calamity. But you see, my son, 14-year age, has already died in a rage, and I am wailing for that. Then Lord Rama said, what is the reason? He sent for Narad. Narad came, and he was assigned duty to explore the reason for his death. Then Naradji came back to report Lord Rama that, my lord, there is one Sudra who is practicing penance in the deep forest, and he is on the point of achieving his goal, and that's why this is severe anathema on society, because Sudra is not supposed to perform religious ritual. Then Lord Rama went there in the forest, and he asked Shambhuk, O sage, please let me know, who are you? Then Shambhuk told, first of all, he saluted Ram with folded hand and explained about himself that I am Shambhuk, I am Sudra, then he said, why did you take this severe penance? What is your aim and objective? Then Shambhuk told that I am practicing this penance just to attain the throne of Indrasan. And he was on the point of achieving this miracle. Then Ram told, but you are Sudra, you are not supposed to practice this this religious ritual. And then he took out his sword and slit his throat, and Shambhuk was instantly put to death. This is one story. That is to say, Ram is supposed to be one who is protecting Brahmanical order in society, where only Brahman is supposed to read, write, and practice religion, and the rest of the people are fated to serve the Brahmin and other segment of society. Sudras and women are not permitted even to learn ABC and Varnakshar. This is one story. Second story, you see, Ram, if you look at Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas, there is one chaupai in the Uttarakhand. What is chaupai? Please listen to me carefully. Ram says, Purna ek jagmahu nahi duja, man kram bachan viprapad puja. Sunat sudha mein bachan Ram ke, har se gahe pad kripa nidhan ke. Means Ramchandra is delivering lecture to his followers after returning from Lanka to Ayodhya. He said, there is only one worship, nothing more superior to that is to worship Brahmin with full devotion, full sacrifice and donation. This is the word of Ram. Then when all the backward and Sudras heard his word, all these people wrapped around the leg of Ramchandra. So what is the point here? The point says, installation of Ram temple is likely to revive the same story. Number one, that Sudras, let me explain what is the meaning of Sudra. According to Rig Veda, Purusha Sukta, there are four segments of society. First, Brahmin, second, Kshatriya, third, Vaishya, and the rest are known as Sudras, including Yadavas, Koiri, Kurmi, and all other lowly backward class and Dalit people. They are classed under the category of Sudras. And let me cite one slok from Rig Veda, that is, Brahmanam mukham asit, baho rajanya krite, uru tadasya udvaisya, padebhyam shudre jayate. Means, Brahmin are born from the mouth of Brahma. The Kshatri from the arms of Brahma. Vaisyas are born from the stomach of Brahma, and the Sudras are born from the lowest part of the body, that is foot of the Brahma. That is to say, this is social hierarchy, and this hierarchy is rigid. It cannot change under any circumstances under the philosophy of Sanatana. Means those who are born Sudra, they are bound to remain Sudras from birth to death. Those who are Brahmin will remain the fountain of knowledge throughout his life, and his duty is to guide the people, to motivate the people, and take their service in the name of religion. So that's why, in my opinion, Ram temple, the installation of Ram, is the reviving of the true story. That is the story of Sambhuk, where Sudras are debarred from learning, writing, learning, and occupying even the normal position in society. Now that's why the RSS people are opposed to reservation. And second one, that the elevation of Brahmin to the status of God himself. That's why the aim of this ceremony is to teach people that Brahman can guide you. Brahman is alone, is invested with power to control your destiny. This is the purpose of Ram temple. And this has come true. Let me start one example. Media has propagated day and night that Modi ji is performing his Anushthan, 11 days Anushthan. Modi himself told that I am practicing Anushthan in order to perform the installation of Lord Ram on 22nd of January. And he began from Panchavati. But do you know what has happened? 3 acharyas of high caste Brahmin, they are from Varanasi, Ayodhya, and Haridwar, and they have given dictum that a pran pratishthan can be done only by the grihast. Grihast means the man who has wife. Husband and wife together can perform Anushthan, none else. Since Modi ji is known to have said to have given up his wife Yasoda Ben long ago, so in this way he was trying to justify that Modi is not capable. He is not capable, according to scripture, to perform this installation ceremony. But the reason is different, because during the installation, the statue is supposed to be touched by the people, and the touching of the statue is assigned exclusively to Brahmin. Non-Brahmin people cannot touch the statue to install it in the name of Pran Pratishthapan. That's why the people must be aware. Dr. Anil Mishra was chosen as principal judgeman, Mukhya Jajman, to perform the ritual and touching the feet of Lord Rama. Even Narendra Modi ji is shunted out. Narendra Modi is debarred from performing the main principal Yajman. Principal Yajman is alone competent to touch the feet of Lord Rama and perform all the ritual with his wife. That's why Dr. Anil Mishra and his wife will perform the same. And Narendra Modi is expelled from the ritual of performing and touching the feet because of Manuvadi tradition. And 90%, 85% of people of India belong to Sudra's segment. That is Yadav, Koiri, Kurmi, Dalit,
SC,
and
OBC, you can say.
obviously all the people are Sudras. They are debarred from touching the feet of Lord Rama. Even our Narendra Modi ji has also suffered the same ostracization. This is a very glaring fact. But media has bleakly telecast it. Most of the people are not aware of it. But perhaps all of you must be aware. Only Dr. Anil Mishra and his wife will act as principal judgment to install Lord Rama and put in Pan Pratishtha, and Modi ji is shunted out.
Well, Professor Thakur, you have spoken quite at length while criticizing Narendra Modi ji that despite putting all his efforts, communal efforts, I would rather clearly like to say, even he will not be allowed to touch the lotus feet of Lord Rama, for which he has been struggling for years, as BJP supporters claim. Well, you have heavily criticized Prime Minister Narendra Modi for re-establishing the Brahmanical hegemony in the name of the return of Ram Rajya. But my question to you is, since you have seen many prime ministers across your student days, your professionally working days, and in your political careers as well, I would like to ask that why only Prime Minister Narendra Modi is cornered so sharply, whereas Congress, the party leader Kamal Nath himself has quite recently spoken that the real credit should go to the Congress. It was Rajiv Gandhi, late Rajiv Gandhi, who is blamed originally to have created a situation which has come to this fruition state. What is your take on that? Why there's a discrimination against Narendra Modi from that perspective? He is not alone the culprit.
Your question is very large, and the substance of the question is lost in the labyrinth of your speech. Let me be brief and tell me what is your question.
My question is that Narendra Modi is not the only person who is basically trying to communalize the entire Indian politics through Ram Mandir installation.
Yes, I got your point.
Congress is equally responsible for it.
Yes, you mean to say Narendra Modi is not alone to blame for communalizing the situation, but even Rajiv Gandhi and Congress people.
I mean to say other party which has been in the power before him.
They are also supposed to share the blame. Right. I got your point. You see, when Babri Masjid room was unlocked and furtively installed Ram Lala Pratima. Of course, it was in the year 1949. Then again in 1985, don't exactly remember. But it is true that some of the leaders of Congress also supported the movement of Ram Lala movement, or you say this Brahminical tradition. That's true. But reason is very simple. When India achieved independence in 1949, the power was transferred to the hand of people constitute of the upper class people, particularly predominated by Brahmins. So Brahmins people did not let the tradition die in this way. They secretly preserved it, even perpetuated the Brahminical order, of course with the only exception of Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. Ambedkar has deliberately crafted the constitution in such a manner as to render it absolutely secular. That's why he has introduced Article 25 to 28, that is right to religion and right to practice. Similarly, even in the preamble, India is a secular, sovereign, democratic republic. Secularism is also added here. And that's why Brahman people are not bold enough to tear the concept of secularism apart. They did it indirectly. But Modi ji has done it bluntly and directly. This is the difference between the two.
Okay. Well, how do you recall, you must have seen since I think during 70s, you were in your student days, you were student leader of Patna University, very cherished student leader. You have participated, you have seen in the JP movement. During JP movement, it is also said, as so many historians and political commentators have written books, written memoirs, and they have openly criticized ex-Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, and they recall Prime Minister Indira Gandhi working in the same fashion the way Prime Minister Narendra Modi is doing today. What do you think? If Narendra Modi will not be the Prime Minister, suppose if he loses the position in 2024, is there going to be any change in the national politics?
Right, a very good question. First of all, let me tell you that Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru was educated in England and he was a voracious reader. He has absorbed the idea of socialism, and his idea of socialism is amply reflected in the constitution. And as long as he lived, he practiced it also in word. After his death, Indira Gandhi, of course, came to power. But lastly, Indira Gandhi is also known for taking support of RSS to come back to power. And with the help of RSS, she has won the election. It is a fact. He has also allowed Dhirendra Brahmachari to occupy a room in his bungalow to practice yoga and religious ritual. She also visited temples, went to seek blessings of the rishis. He has completely made a departure from his father, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. He was true socialist.
She was, you mean to say?
No, I'm talking about Jawaharlal Nehru. Jawaharlal Nehru was a true socialist and progressive in outlook. But Indira Gandhi is she is having split personality. On public platform, she poses herself as secular, but in private life, she practices his religious belief and also allowed it to be seen by public. So even Congress cannot be completely absolved of his blame to nurture communalism, of course, indirectly. But Modi ji has practiced and perpetuated it and propagated it very directly and bluntly.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi himself, from the on the election stages at several in all rallies basically, and all his supporters, all leaders, unanimously say just one thing, that if not Modi, who? basically they want to create a situation that if Narendra Modi will not be the Prime Minister of India even in 2024, the situation of India might go in tatters. It may suffer. The future of India may suffer. Is it true?
It is absolutely myth and propaganda. And this propaganda is widely generated and propagated only through the media. If Modi is not, then who is that? That's not the question at all. Modi is the only Prime Minister of the world who has not ventured to face press conference within in a space of his 1 decade tenure. He assumed reign in 2014 and now it is 2024. He has not faced even a single press conference. Why? Because he is aware that he is incapable of answering the question of the people. So if Modi is not here, it won't cut much ice. All the people are capable to perform the same because there is a written constitution, there is written a statute. Everyone has to perform in accordance with the law already prescribed in the clauses of the constitution and the sections of the statutory law. Everyone is bound by the law. But Modi ji had definitely very much digressed from the point of constitution and point of law.
It is said about the Prime Minister Narendra Modi that he has not given even a single, he has not attended or organized and even called a single press conferences, being the only Prime Minister of the world in last 10 years,
right,
in one decade, because he believes in actions, not in words, unlike other previous Prime Ministers.
Okay, all right. His action is absolutely contrary to the provision. Let me tell you, let me cite one example. In 2014, the international debt to India stood at 15,000 crore, 55,000 crore. But today, it went up to 2,10,000 crore. India is embedded deep into the cost of debt. How has India progressed? Second thing, the constitutional institutions are undermined, including election commission. You know that the Supreme Court has already laid down the law that there shall be a panel of three personality to recommend the appointment of an election commission, that is the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice of India and the leader of opposition. And it was and the law was also laid down that concept of separation is the bedrock of the constitution. Means power of the executive, judiciary and legislative cannot mix together. The concept separation of power. Since Election Commission of India is a constitutional body, it is supposed to be beyond the control of executive hand, right? And accordingly, the Supreme Court has laid down the law that there shall be a panel of three dignitaries headed by the Prime Minister, the Chief Justice of India and the leader of opposition. And the law laid down by the Supreme Court is binding on all the people under the Article 141 of the Constitution. But what has Modi done? Modi ji has done away this provision. He has called the Election Commission Act 2020 to be passed by the Parliament and even assented and notified, in which the committee shall consist of Prime Minister and one cabinet minister nominated by him and the leader of opposition. It means in the committee of three, the executive holds the majority, that is 2. It goes against the very grain of the separation of power. The constitution is based on the basic feature of separation of power, judiciary, executive, as well as legislative. They can't be mixed together. But Modi government has undermined it. It has violated the provision of the Constitution under Article 141. The law laid down by the Supreme Court under Article 141 is binding law on all the organs of the government, including the Prime Minister and the President, everyone. But what has happened? He has undermined it.
Yeah, it is a very popular accusation against Prime Minister Narendra Modi of compromising the constitutionality of India. But Prime Minister Modi says that he has made it more democratic because previous governments have worked in a way towing the line of nepotism, casteism, and that is also casteism only in the upward mobility, like only the dominant sections in the past used to get all facilities. After Narendra Modi took power as a Prime Minister, he made it more democratic, and there are so many institutions where it is said that few of the top positions are given to marginalized sections people. For example, quite recently he said, or it is written in his favor, his supporters write publicly, that if it was not for Prime Minister Modi as a Prime Minister, then nobody could have imagined that Draupadi Murmu, a woman from ST background, would have ever become the honorable president of this country. If it was not for the Prime Minister of Modi, then a man from SC community, scheduled caste community, would have also not become the president of India, Ram Kovind. Had it not been for the the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, so many top positions like Central Information Commissioner, which is one of the topmost positions of the country, which dispenses discharges the duty of the information, supplying the information to people, would not have been offered to SC community man. How do you blame? Why do you blame? How can you blame? This is the blame of the ruling party leaders. That Modi ji has made it more democratic, which is indigestible for the previous ruling government, Congressy, who basically are Parivarwadi, nepotist and family-oriented party.
This is absolutely bogus. Even during Congress regime, K.R. Narayanan was the president from the Dalit community. He was also president, right? So it is absolutely wrong to say that no representation of other people were given in previous government. It is not true. But there is one difference. You see, Narayanan was a diplomat. He was well read. He was a knowledgeable scholar. But opposite to it, Draupadi Murmu cannot be compared with him. Second point, Girish Chandra Murmu was appointed CAG, right? Just because he was very much close to Modi ji in Gujarat, IAS cadre, and he was appointed Lieutenant Governor of Kashmir. Then he was appointed Girish Chandra Murmu. And Girish Chandra Murmu is the CAG. And under the supervision of Girish Chandra Murmu, CAG report was tabled to the house, to the floor of the parliament. It was in 3 volumes. That was, I remember, first it was presented to the government on 31st August 2023. According to CAG report, 7,50,000 crore was found embezzlement in the budget. 7,50,000 crore rupees, not a small amount. It has also specified, number 1, that per 1 kilometer road, 6 lane construction, 4 lane construction, rupees 15 crore was allocated. but the expenditure went on to 25,000 per kilometer road. In addition, Dwarka Expressway, where 1 kilometer road was the expenditure of 1 kilometer road was allotted to rupees 28,000 crore. 28 crore. But the expenditure went up to 257 crore per kilometer. And this fact was pointed out not less than anyone by CAG report itself. See, if Modi is practicing honesty, why didn't he order immediate inquiry into the embezzlement of the public money? Secondly, you were talking about CAG, Chief Information Commission. What is the status? Earlier, the Chief Information Commission enjoyed the privileges on par with the Election Commission. That is, once Chief Election Commissioner is appointed, he cannot be removed without following the procedure of impeachment. But now what has happened now? The post of Chief Election Commissioner was denigrated. It is downgraded, and its posting is left at the mercy of the government. Means the Chief Election Commissioner can be appointed through executive order, and he can also be removed through executive order, not through impeachment in the parliament. This is the difference. You have appointed scheduled caste people, scheduled tribe people, but you have made them, you have emancipated them, you have dissipated them from within. You have made them act as puppet. It means BJP people want, of course, post the scheduled caste, scheduled tribe people, but they are made to act as puppet, not as independent thinker, as Gyani Jayal Singh President did, then K.R. Narayanan did. They were also from OBC and scheduled caste community, but they wielded their authority if the occasion demanded. So it is absolutely wrong to say that Modi ji has given representation. He is keen to eradicate corruption from society. Modi ji in Bhopal has trumpeted that NCP people have embezzled fund to the tune of 70,000 crore. And soon after that, when Ajit Pawar. When Ajit Pawar broke from his original NCP, he was assigned deputy chief ministership, and the scourge of corruption has already disappeared into the air. See, this is the hypocrisy of Modi and BJP. Hypocrisy is more dangerous to society than anything else. BJP government is rooted on the platform of hypocrisy, sophistry, and public rhetoric.
Well, you have spoken quite clearly and frankly on the national issues in regard to the Prime Minister Modi. Well, on the international front, people say, as you must have heard the phrase for yourself, Danka baj raha hai. So, Narendra Modi has established the stature of India as has been never done before Modi. What do you think on this?
It is absolutely bogus. It is absolutely fallacious. And it is merely propaganda bereft of truth. Let me say one example. When Nehruji went there, USA, in 1954, then the president himself came forward to receive him at the airport. But did any president of India receive Modi ji on airport? Not at all. Secondly, the people of Hindu Parishad, or Janata Dal people, they are arranged and gathered together and host some sort of program, and Modi ji simply photographed them all and put them in his Twitter handle to say this is the reception. Let me cite one example. You see, what is the example I am giving you? 5 countries are maintaining I group contact, that is intelligence sharing group. America, Canada, New Zealand, and some other country I don't exactly remember. When a Sikh was killed in Canada, the Canada president retorted it and also expressed his strong resentment. And United States also toed his line. Secondly, when one Gurmeet Pannu, he was supposed to be killed by a people. His name is Nikhil. Nikhil Gupta. Right? He is detained in Czechoslovakia jail. Nikhil Gupta contacted someone to kill him, and he also showed the video of the man killed in Karnataka, and this was supplied by senior intelligence officer in India, and America has demanded inquiry on it, but the government is still mute. The government is not speaking anything forthright. 2 incidents have embittered the situation of India in the Western country. Similarly, even the smallest island like, what is his name?
Maldives.
Maldives. The smallest island, Maldives. Maldives has given ultimatum to India to vacate, to withdraw its
Indian soldiers.
Indian troops. 78 troops from its land, and the deadline was fixed to be 25th March. You see, even the small country is arm twisting India. China has already spread around India, and foreign policy of India is not very healthy as it used to be in the time of Nehru and Indira Gandhi.
Well, you have said quite opposite to what the perception around Modi is being created, because when this Russia-Ukraine war started, it was said that only Modi ji can help stop the war between Russia and Ukraine. When Israel-Gaza war recently re-erupted, it was again said that it is only Prime Minister Modi whose intervention can bring this war to a stop. And Modi ji is, as per the reports came, he intervened at least in Russia-Ukraine war. At least this was being spread through the mainstream media. How do you see this aspect?
You know that I don't know whether Modi ji has intervened or not, but the result remains the same. There is no end of war either in Ukraine and Russia, nor between Israel and Hamas. So I don't know how far such propaganda is true. If Modi holds clout in international plane, then naturally his intervention must have yielded some result. But result to our eyes is almost nil. I don't see much substance in such propaganda.
Friends, you were hearing this wonderful interview with Professor Shivjatan Thakur, former head of the Department of English, Patna University, former member of Bihar Public Service Commission, and who also holds great command over constitutional matters. And he clearly said in his 1-hour interview that how Prime Minister Narendra Modi's selection as the Prime Minister of India for 2 consecutive terms, which is for 1 decade, has completely been a big failure as a leader and as the government of India. Well, if you like my channel, please subscribe it, like it and share it. And if you think that I am doing well in the sense representing the issues of the people through my interviews, solo programs and shows, you can send me your financial assistance as well on the description page of my channel on the bank account. Thank you very much. Thank you, Professor Thakur. It was very great listening you once again. Thank you very much.
Welcome.